Hello, welcome to my channel. On this following video, we're going to discuss about sequences. So let's get started. So first, we will give the definition of infinite sequence. So an infinite sequence is a collection of numbers ordered by positive integers, so that we know which number is the first, which number is the second, the third, the fourth, and so on. So for example, if we have the following sequence, then 0 is the first number, the first term, 1/2 is the second one, 2/3 is the third one, and so on. If we have an infinite sequence, of course it is impossible to list all of them in this manner. Then one way to describe this kind of sequence is by giving them the explicit formula. So for example, for this sequence, the explicit formula is a sub n is equal to 1 minus 1 over n. So this formula tells us what is the n terms of the sequence. So for example, when we substitute n equals 3, so we have a sub 3 is equal to 1 minus 1/3, which is 2/3, which is agree to the third terms of our sequence here. The next example is the following. You may want to pause your video and try to figure out what is the explicit formula for this sequence. Okay, you may pause the video now. Okay, so what's the formula? Yes, the formula is minus 1 to the n power plus 1 over n, and we can try to check that it is indeed the right formula. When n is equal to 1, we have minus 1 to the power of 1, that's minus 1 plus 1 over 1. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0. We check when n equals to 1, it's gonna be n equals 2, 1 plus 1/2, which is 3 over 2, and so on. You can verify that all these terms satisfied by this formula. Okay, another way to describe a sequence is by giving a recursive formula for a sequence, and a sequence that is obtained in that way, sometimes you call it as recursive sequence. So recursive sequence is a sequence so that its terms is obtained by or is determined by the previous terms of that sequence. So for example, if we look at the following Fibonacci sequence, right? So these two, we get these two by adding the two previous terms. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and so on, right? So how exactly we get all the terms of this sequence? So the seed of this sequence is basically the first two terms of this sequence. So we define a sub 1 and a sub 2 to be equal to 1. And then the rest is determined by the two previous terms, starting from n equals 3. So the n terms is obtained by adding the two previous terms. So its previous terms is nothing but a sub n minus 1 and a sub n minus 2. And we do that for all n starting from n equals to 3. Okay, so as an exercise, you may try to find the explicit formula for the following sequence. So thank you for watching. See you again on the next video. Goodbye for now. Bye.